Afghan President Hamid Karzai lashed out at the United States in strikingly acerbic terms Sunday, implying that the American military was stoking violence in collusion with the Taliban to justify a prolonged presence here and charging that foreign troops were harassing Afghan university students. The remarks painted an embarrassing picture of discord that marked Defense Secretary Chuck Hagel's first foreign trip as Pentagon chief and plunged the tenuous allies into crisis mode at a time when the United States is struggling to wind down the unpopular war in a dignified manner. Afghan and American officials provided differing accounts about why a joint news conference scheduled for Sunday night that had been expected to be the centerpiece of Hagel's trip was cancelled. U.S. officials said they scrapped the event in consultation with the Afghan government because of an unspecified security threat. Karzai spokesman, Amal Faizi, rejected the notion that the palace would have been a dangerous place to hold a news conference. "From our side, we saw no threat," he said. At best, the day's event left the impression that after more than a decade of war and billions of U.S. dollars spent, the United States deemed the risk of holding the news conference in the most barricaded quarters of the capital as unreasonably high. In stark contrast to Kabul visits by other U.S. defense secretaries, Hagel completed his trip without making upbeat pronouncements about the state of the U.S. mission. In a televised speech about violence against women, Karzai said fatal bombings carried out Saturday, including one outside the Ministry of Defense, should not be interpreted as a Taliban show of force aimed at undermining the U.S. military, which is considering keeping a small force in Afghanistan after its wartime mandate expires at the end of 2014. In reality, the bombs that went off yesterday under the name of the Taliban were a service to the foreigners, Karzai said, casting doubt on the claim of responsibility made by the Taliban, which asserted that the attacks were carried out to mar Hagel's visit. Karzai said the blasts help Americans justify a prolonged troop presence in Afghanistan. "We have been down this road before too many times," he added. U.S. officials struggled to make sense of the tone and timing of Karzai's remarks, but the top U.S. commander in Afghanistan pushed back against the notion that the U.S. military could be complicit in attacks. "We have fought too hard over the past 12 years, General Joseph F. Dunford Jr. told reporters in Kabul on Sunday. "We have shed too much blood over the past 12 years. We have done too much to help the Afghan security forces grow over the past 12 years to think that violence or instability would be to our advantage." Dunford suggested Karzai's anti-American rhetoric could be political gamesmanship. "He's a head of state that has both an internal and external audience," Dunford said. "He knows far better than I do how to manage internal and external audiences.